My name is Kayla, and I'm Kynlee's mom, and we live in East Texas. When Kynlee was around probably 20 months old, she started having lots of stomach problems. The pediatrician kept saying, oh, it's gas or it's the formula. And eventually she got so sick. I was at work one day here in Dallas, and my mom called and said they're going to admit her into the hospital. So I, of course, sped home, and we were in Tyler at the hospital for 6 days, and they could never come up with anything. And so we got transferred here, and to be honest, I feel like they knew what was wrong with her before we ever got very far in. After we got the diagnosis of Crohn's disease, as hard as it was, we were just really thankful to know what was going on. And it was hard, really hard, but meeting a great team of doctors and becoming a part of the IBD community, it's been hard, but we're making it through.
When we saw Kynlee for the first time, she was 22 months old when she was originally diagnosed. She was already on a treatment, like conventional treatment, which was not necessarily working for her. And she was on high doses of corticosteroids too. So in the first 1 year after her diagnosis, she was in the hospital for 8 times for blood transfusions, for a flare needing corticosteroids by IV. So we started our immune workup, including sending genetic testing as well as looking how her immune system works with Dr. Vaisaki.
The role of an immunologist in the evaluation and treatment of very early onset IBD patients centers around the fact that the earlier the presentation, the higher the likelihood of a genetic abnormality in the immune system that's causing the problem. There's a fairly high proportion of patients who present early with inflammatory bowel disease and other autoimmune problems where there are defects in the parts of the immune system that are supposed to allow it to recognize ourselves and distinguish ourselves from a potential pathologic invader like an infection.
5 to 6 months into taking care of her, we switched her over to a combination of medications which are not FDA approved for children, but pretty much after we started this combination of therapy, she has been in remission for close to 2 years now.
When the new treatments came about, they weren't approved, and I was really nervous, and I would go home and I would spend lots of time Googling. It was very scary, and you really, at this point, you don't have a choice. And of course, I chose to trust Dr. Grum and Dr. Vaisaki and do the treatment plan they picked, and thank goodness I did, because here my child is today well for the first time in her life.
My name is Kynlee, and I spell my name Kynleeprice. And I go to kindergarten. School is very good, and it don't give me any trouble.
And Kynlee, how old are you?
5 years old.
How does Crohn's make you feel when it acts up?
Sick.
Sick?
And I have to lay in my bed all day.
The impact of Crohn's has been really hard. Kynlee's missed so much time with her family and her friends between doctor's appointments and hospital stays. Navigating Crohn's has been really tough, but it's brought us closer together.
Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been very impactful for taking care of our patients. The reason we are able to get her into remission is the new medications that are available now that have different mechanisms of action. So we have several medications to choose from. Let's say I were to take care of Kynlee 10 years ago, and now I don't think 10 years ago I would have gotten her into remission.
With Kynlee on her last drug, research is just so important to find a cure for Crohn's disease. A cure for Kynlee would mean relief. It would mean relief from all the doctor's appointments and taking all the medications and being in so much pain. And not just for Kynlee, for all my mom friends that I cry with at night that are so scared for their kids.
The most impressive thing about Kynlee is the way Kynlee can just light up a room regardless of what's going on with Kynlee. It's kind of the most inspiring part of my job is when you walk into a room with a patient who's badly affected like that, who's having trouble controlling their disease, and yet they're incredibly positive. They just grip it and rip it no matter what.
I hope Kynlee continues to do as well as she's doing, reach or exceed her potential.
Hey Kynlee, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A doctor. Like Dr. McGurn, Dr. Misaki, and Dr. Gurn. I want to help people because I want to help them get better and have Crohn's disease, no more Crohn's disease.
I want people to know that Kynlee is so much more than Crohn's disease. She has so much self-power and she doesn't let anything hold her back. I always want her to know that she's worth a cure and that I'll always be fighting for her.